Like there can be tons of spam complaints, even when you're not doing outbound, you're trying to reheat old people that downloaded like an ebook, right? Postmaster says your reputation is like gone to medium or gone to bad. What do you do in those cases, Rory? Like, what's your advice? Like, do you go all hands on deck? Um, you try to like reheat your most engaged subscribers with your best content, try to repair that specific domain. Do you set up a new subdomain or a new domain? Like, what do you do when your rep goes bad?
Yeah, so it's a good question. And yeah, we do pick up with people when they feel like they have an issue. We're not
Yeah.
in the persuasion business of trying to say,
Yeah.
hey, we think you have a problem, you might not be. It's really when people are saying, right, we've messed up here.
Yeah.
or
Please
we
help.
or we're so worried that something's going to go wrong with this risky process that we need something in place to fix it. So
Yeah.
what we would do in that situation, the domain's been burnt for the example you outlined. If they hit an old list, it was a bad list, they've seen something's gone wrong in Postmaster tools, is we the first step is you always have to bring the automated volume right down. And it's not the answer people want to hear. They want to hear there's a hack, there's a workaround. The reality is you have to bring the volume right down to repair the domain. So we should at least see top level volume from the company at half its previous level. And the majority of that volume that's still there needs to be inbound emails. It needs to be general business emails, not sales or marketing outreach as a starting point. Now, we would advise, it depends on what you already had in place, and we can jump into that in a little bit, but we would advise creating a new subdomain. So, not the domain or not a domain that you expect to burn through is really what's an important thing to remember here. A lot of people think they can kind of wipe the slate clean, move on, and just change around. It's going to be a subdomain with our strategy that you use for all your promotional efforts moving
Yeah.
forward. And this is, of course, assuming that the domain you just burnt was the core domain. So, right? If you were already on a subdomain, then we're not going to say change it out and start again. We're going to say let's fix the one that's already in place and make that better. Then you
Hmm.
begin a process of essentially, if it is a new subdomain, warming that subdomain and getting it ready to send promotional emails where over the course of 30 to 60 days, you're gradually increasing volume and you're hitting your most engaged subscribers first and highest quality leads, and then steadily introducing the rest of the list. But the one thing you need to do very, very differently with this campaign, which we're going to help with, is you need to make sure all the contacts that enter it go through a system that risk analyzes each email contact to make sure you're not adding those bad contacts again. You're not adding more invalids. You're not adding spam traps accidentally, and you're going to catch them before you send the email and see the bounce back come through. Then, with that in place, if the content is good and you have those guardrails up and you keep using them, you shouldn't have problems moving forward. And the domain that you used previously should organically recover to the level of reputation that it was at before, assuming that the risky traffic on it doesn't continue, right?
And how do you
Gotcha.
do
Yeah, that's
how do
great
you do
advice.
that? Like, how do you do the risk analysis? Is it based on if those specific contacts, like what characteristics have they reported spam before? Do you like look at like an external data, like your own data, or like how do you generate that risk, like identify the risky contacts?
Yeah, so basically, we conduct every technical check to assess the risk of the contact and then provide you with guidance on how to market to them based on all those factors. So that's multiple things that we use for the risk analysis to get a rating, and then based on that rating, advise you what to do. So, as a
Hmm.
basic example, one of the more simple parts of the process would be an SMTP check, where we're going to see for every email you give us, do we get a valid result from that server, or has the person left the job and they're going to produce a bounce?
Okay.
Then a step on from that as kind of a core principle is the more complex parts of the process, right? Where we're going to evaluate, is an email valid even on a server that blocks legacy validation strategies? So some servers now will not let you do that SMTP check. We're still able
Hmm.
to create a highly accurate rating on whether that contact is still there or not. Or do they have a history of spam blocking email outreach? Because we connect to B2B emails, we can get that data set too. So one of the advantages we really have against just legacy email validation is most vendors in this space don't connect to email accounts. they're siloed to the server side, which is running SMTP checks only. Whereas what we do is we connect to every user's real B2B inbox, and we're able to see their prospecting, see email traffic every day across millions of data points. And that basically means Allegro is able to establish not just if a contact's valid, but if they're highly risky to send an outbound email to or not.